video is going to show you how to use the offset path technique. Now, I do want to show you what's going on in order for you to understand how things work. And for that, I'm going to bring in my layers panel. So make sure that you have your layers panel and you can see what you're doing. I am going to make that layers panel large, and I'm going to go to the panel options and make it more visible. So I'm going to make the sides of the layers a little bit bigger so I can see everything that I'm doing. So here's how this is going to work. An offset path is something that you do to increase the spacing between the object so that you have an outline around it. And so the best way that I can explain it is by showing you an example like the word Mendes here. So now the way we're going to do it is we're going to create a new one, and I'm going to type the word Mendes. So I'm going to type Mendes, and I'm going to make those letters larger. We should already know how to do all of this. Okay, and I'm going to change the font. So I'm going to go to my character panel and choose a nicer font that's more curvy, that's got a lot more curves, and I'll just go with this one for now. This is called Noteworthy. So now my next step is to convert these letters into outlines. These are still letters. I can still select each letter and type a different letter. I can still change these into a different font. So what I want is to convert this into shapes now. Take a look at what's happening in the layers panel though. I have a single object of all the text that I've typed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert these into shapes. I'm going to go to the type menu and I'm going to go to create outlines. Create outlines. Now watch what happens when I create outlines. Watch what happens in the layers panel. Now I have a group and there's a little arrow here, which means if I click on that, now I've got stuff inside it. So what I've now done is I've separated all the letters and turned them into shapes, and they're inside a group. So you can see that everything's together. Now, what if I ungroup these letters and I go to the object menu and ungroup? Notice that the group is gone, and now I have all the letters selected. Let me deselect by just clicking somewhere out here. Now, because each letter is a separate shape, I can move them apart, right? I can move them apart and put them in different places, make them larger, make them smaller. So I can make this interesting and, customize it like I already showed you. But this lesson is about offsetting paths. So the next step is to select everything, and I am going to go to the object menu and choose path and offset path. Again, keep an eye on the layers and watch what's happening. So when I bring up the offset path, I get a choice of how much offset I want to give my letters, and I prefer to use the round option for most things unless you need to have something very straight. But this font is very round anyway, so I'm going to keep it round. And I'm going to go to about maybe 13 point, and then I'm going to click OK. Now watch what happens in the layers panel. Underneath every letter, I'm getting an offset, and they're both the same color, so that's making the inside letter invisible, right? Now, I don't want to have to deal with an offset for every letter. I'd rather it just be one single shape. So the first thing I could do right now is unite all of that by using the Pathfinder Unite. Notice how it's only the offsets that are selected. So if I click Pathfinder Unite right here, everything is now one shape. However, if you notice, it's the offset is underneath the letter Z. I actually want that to be all the way in the bottom. So I'm going to drag it down to the bottom. Or, you can also go to Object, Arrange, and Send to Back. And now finally, let's change the color. So the bottom layer selected, let's give it a different color. So now you see I've got the letters on top and I've got the offset in the bottom. Now, I can just simply repeat these over and over. If I select this single layer, click on here or click on the blue, I can do Object, Path, Offset, Path again. And let's make this maybe a little bit bigger. Click OK. Notice what I've got. Now I've got a path underneath. It's the same color. Let me change the color to something darker so you can see the difference. See, so now I've got the dark color in the very bottom, then the lighter color. The lighter color, and then on top I've got the letters, right? So This is how you can build up um, your offset path. And when you're done, you can have a design that has the whole page filled in. So this is how you do offset paths.